Right, FanDuel, I am back with another video. If you're looking for early look at prize picks, I had just released it. It should be up. I think it's been up for about a half hour now. So the prize picks video, it's an early look prize picks. As you know, Monday night only some of the players start coming out with their props. So if you want to take a look at the early look, you can take a look at that. Man, the theme for this week though, last week I wasn't able to do a video, just got caught up with a whole bunch of things. So I feel like I should make it up to the channel by releasing as much content as I can. And here's this week's fantasy week 7 video. We'll do a preview of a part 1. We'll take a little bit of a look of an overlay of this very unique slate. And when I say unique slate is because, man, when I saw the matchups, and Vegas kind of agrees, yes, we only have 10 games, but man, week 7 looks horribly ugly. It doesn't look good at all. It really doesn't. I mean, we have the one game, and rightfully so. Like I said, there's a lot of these games that have, most of them, not all of them, but when you look at the game that everybody looks at with the highest total, this is something that is granted, as you can see here. But the main thing is, yes, the 4 o'clock slate. I mean, I already had friends that hit me up that was like, hey, man, some of the 4 o'clock games look way better than some of these 4 o'clock games look way better than the 1 o'clock slate. Chiefs and Chargers have I think it's a 50 over under, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, while everything else is rocking is either in the mid 40s or anything lower. None of the fun teams that we like to roster will be on this slate. There will be no Dolphins, no Eagles, no 49ers, no Vikings, and yeah, we got 6 teams on bye. And then the Thursday night game is Jaguars and Saints, so that means no Travis Etienne. So, because the bye week teams are the Bengals, so Bengals, Cowboys, Titans, Jets, Panthers, Texans. So no fun CJ Stroud stacks. No Chuba Hubbard if he was still available to play. No taking the Jets D. No King Henry. No Pollard. No Pollard, CJ Lamb, and then one of the favorite stacks of the year, or at least the last 2 weeks, there's no Chase and no Burrow. So, and I think we like that because Burrow seems to be getting healthy or whatever, so I'm pretty sure he was starting to get into the flow. He probably wishes the bye week was maybe a little bit more in the middle. But hey, it's the schedule. The schedule is what it is, and we have to just deal with it. So, just to want to talk about, I understand some people feel like sometimes, like I said, the big game can disappoint, but this is one that I think that is gonna either just maybe go under, but it's still gonna be an entertaining game. Hit the mark or go over. Last year's 2 matchups, in the first matchup last year, I think it was what, September of 2022. It was a 27-24 victory by the Chiefs. Mahomes threw for 2 touchdowns. Herbert threw for 3. As you can see, Mahomes was spread. And if you remember that year, Mahomes was spreading the ball all over. I mean, I think Justin Watson, McKinnon caught one. And then Herbert had Mike Williams, who went off for 8 for 113, but obviously Mike Williams won't be in this one. And then in the second game, that was like beginning of January, I think, before the playoffs, Mahomes went off again. This time he went for 329 and 3 touchdowns. Herbert had another fine day, 280 and 2 touchdowns. And then of course Pacheco had a solid game in the second one. He went 15 for 107, while Austin Eckler went for almost 100. And then of course he did his thing with the receiving as well. Eckler, well, not really. He went for 2 for 17. It was Joshua Palmer who stepped in last year. So maybe the same thing happens again because Mike Williams was hurt. Travis Kelce, although he's the one that really went off. Travis Kelce, 6 for 115, 3 touchdowns. So if it goes off the pattern of last year says that this game should be the number one to target. But once again, when it comes to fantasy, everybody can't always pick that game. So you gotta go with the ownership. And I think now it's still going to be semi-popular as well, because like I said, it's only 10 games. That's the only thing. So it's condensed ownership. So when it comes to that, I honestly feel, obviously there goes Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen injured with a shoulder, and then there goes Justin Herbert. Justin Fields is not going to play. So off the bat, you can honestly say that the Las Vegas defense looks good next week with no Justin Fields. I think Lamar is a good option. He could probably be low owned. Jordan Love is going to garner some ownership against the bad and probably one of the bottom three defenses in Denver. Even though Green Bay is on the road, Jared Goff does have a tough matchup, but at 76,000, I think he can still tough it out on the road in Baltimore. I understand some people don't like taking Jared Goff on the road. He kind of has that narrative, even though the Lions are a better team. Narrative is that, Detroit Golf, especially the defense, plays better on the road, but that defense is legit. That defense can travel. But it could be a low-owned stack. The stack that I'm wondering is, yes, I would like to take a risk on Deshaun Watson. Hopefully that shoulder is better, because I would definitely like to attack that Indianapolis defense, which is very porous on the ground and mostly in the air. Deshaun Watson would be a nice stack with Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones. Maybe some Njoku goal line looks for 7,500. As we keep going down, I mean, if he comes back, Daniel Jones is something to look at against a bad Washington defense. He's had some productive games against Washington. The other game that I think will get some ownership, just won't get as much ownership, I think you definitely got to target the Arizona-Seattle game. Seattle at home, yes, but yes, that defense still gives up a lot, whether home or on the road with the 12th man. So some Geno double stacks, maybe with both Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, looks like a good idea. Desmond Ridder has been improving on his passing. That is probably looking like another low-owned stack because they're going to be forced to pass. The question is, will Desmond Ridder be able to read the defense and place the ball where it needs to be? Once again, as you all know, Tampa Bay can get to some quarterbacks as long as they're shutting down the run. And if they're shutting down the run, there's a high possibility that Desmond Ridder is going to have to look for Drake London and Kyle Pitts down the field. So there are some options. Jimmy Garoppolo, he has a Q tag, but he did say a statement was already made that he's already looking forward to playing at Chicago against that defense. Whoever the quarterback is, like I'm letting you know right now, I said it in my prop video for the Prize Picks vid. If Chicago decides to start Nathan Peterman, I'm letting you know right now. You start Las Vegas defense, and you definitely take the over 0.5 interception prop on Nathan Peterman. You might want to take the 0.5 prop on whoever the quarterback is for Chicago next week. Just saying. Matthew Stafford, also a good look at 6,700. And like I said, Joshua Dobbs has the ability to have a low-owned stack probability and a very cheap stack at Seattle. Yes, you have to be worried about going on the road to Seattle, but this Seattle defense, like I said, could they have that game where they totally shut things down, but they're still going to give a lot up, and giving a lot up means fantasy points. So Joshua Dobbs is still a good look for me. As you get down lower, scrambling ability, and like I said, porous defense, he could probably get the ball down the field. I guess you could look at Tyrod Taylor and maybe cheapen up the stack with how cheap he is, and then get he could throw some screen passes to Barkley. He could also get it to Waller, or you might look at one of the Giants wide receivers, but I definitely like that. I'm not going any lower than that. I'm a Minshew guy, yes, but he's going against pretty much, if you don't think they're the best defense, it's the 49ers. And if you don't think it's the 49ers, it's Cleveland. I don't like that matchup at all for Gardner Minshew. So let's take it back a little bit and let's get to the next section. We just finished talking about QB, so I guess we could go wide receiver. Like I said, I'm doing this a part one, so we'll keep it stack wise. We'll go wide receiver and then tight end. Part two will be details on the running backs, and we'll finish it off with the defenses. So, once again, Cooper Kupp, the man. I got nothing else to say about that. 9,700. We got Keenan Allen. Like I said, in that high total game, Stephon Diggs. New England does play Buffalo tough. Buffalo is on the road. But no matter what, Stephon Diggs is still fantasy viable. That is no issue. Amon-Ra St. Brown, always a good player as well, 8,200. Devontae Adams, he's going to be highly owned. I got a feeling after... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I am sorry. But I honestly do feel that off the top, Devontae Adams is going to be the second most owned. If it's not Devontae Adams, it's going to be Stephon Diggs behind Cooper Kupp, garnering the most ownership. People will definitely try and find a way to get that 97 in there. Whether if you're stacking him with Stafford, because of the price of Stafford, it makes it definitely an affordable stack. It's not like Kupp being at 9,700. You're paying up on 77, 78, close to 8,000 Stafford. So it's definitely something that could be stackable. But Devontae Adams against Chicago, oh man. Like I said, I like both wide receivers. DK Metcalf at 7,700 makes me wonder Jacoby Myers, can't forget him at 7,400. Puka Nacua, 73. Terry McLaurin at 72. Like I said, against a Porsche, if Sam Howell could gun that ball down the field, Terry McLaurin definitely could be a contrarian pick against the other players. Against the other wide receivers, Puka Nacua is definitely your contrarian over. You're hoping he gets the touchdowns over Cooper Kupp, but the way Cooper Kupp gets the run after the catch might not make a difference. Cooper Kupp is probably damn near guaranteed a touchdown. I will be fading Michael Pittman this week against that Cleveland defense. There goes Drake London at 69. Tyler Lockett all the way at 68. So he's going to be high in ownership because he has a good price and he could definitely beat Arizona over the top. So now that I see that and the potential to get away from that Kansas City Chiefs Los Angeles game, Tyler Lockett definitely looks like a good choice. If somehow New England does give double coverage or man and over-the-top coverage to Stephon Diggs, definitely look for Gabe Davis to have one of those big games at 6,700. Once again, the Marquise Brown stacks of Joshua Dobbs, always comparable, especially this week. Very cheap stack. I think Joshua Dobbs, I think we just saw he's in 67. I think they're both 6,700, unless Dobbs was 68, 67. So you got a viable quarterback wide receiver stack, and you're barely getting over 14,000 for the rest of your lineup. So that's definitely looking good. Joshua Palmer will definitely be one of the value pieces you're probably going to need if you're going to stack that. If you're going to try and game stack with a double stack and a bring back from another side, depending on how you set up that lineup. I mean, you can't count out those Green Bay wide receivers. Like I said, Romeo Dobbs at 62. We just passed Christian Watson. That's Christian Watson, pardon me, at 66. And like I said, I mean, not really looking at Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton this week. Green Bay's weakness is the run, not the pass. So won't be looking much at them. Like I said, there's a lot of people. Like I said, the way these games look ugly, it's going to be somebody like a Darius Slayton or Wandale Robinson that you're going to need, or Rashee Rice. You're going to need one of these guys to, not only going to need the value, you're going to need the value, but it's one of these guys, it's setting up for that kind of week to really have one of these guys go for like anywhere from a meaningful 8.7 to maybe a possible 15.7, and you're gonna need one of these people to fill out your roster as we keep going down. You never know in these ugly games. Sam Howell could keep the play alive with his feet, find Jahan Dotson in the end zone. It's that kind of week that could possibly happen. Really, Isaiah Hodgins could go for like 7 for 87 and maybe get a touchdown, 7 for 60 something or whatever the case is. Like, what's his high this season? 19-24, 40-24. Maybe it's going to be a little different with Tyrod Taylor. Plus, they're going against one of the worst defenses. Like I said, Giants wide receivers do look good this week. And if it's not him, if it's not Hodgins, it's definitely Wandale has definitely garnered some targets this year. I was definitely a Darren Slayton guy, but when you look at Wandale, 8 targets, 6 targets, 6 targets, 5 targets, it's been happening all year. So it's really Wandale you probably want to get to. There goes Tutu Atwell. That's a GPP play. You hope he'll catch someone, get a touchdown. Sky Moore, anything can happen there. You already know that. And as we keep going down, now we're at the 5. Let me tell you something. I'm going to keep sticking with him. I've been picking him lately or whatever, and he just bound to get a touchdown. It just sucks that they keep gimmicking this kid. Oh, and then you can't forget Donovan Peoples. That's a nice $5,000 play. But they keep gimmicking this kid into like screen passes and forget negative A dot and DVOA and all that stuff. But I watch Rondell Moore. He's athletic, but they just keep giving the ball. He rarely catches a pass in front of the line of scrimmage. It's always wide receiver screen, and then it's wide receiver screen. Hey, use your shiftiness and blocking and do what you got to do. He is getting the targets. 7, 5, 1 game or 2, 6. Early in the season wasn't getting it, but from week 3, he's been getting the targets. He's getting the opportunity. He has the shiftiness, speed, and athleticism to break one out. I'm telling you, for 5,000, I think you should be looking at Rondell Moore. He's someone that I've been picking. As you can see, all he needs is just more opportunity, and hopefully they just give it to him downfield. 4.6, 9.1, and 1 week he had a 14.2. Yes, he's a wide receiver, but here's the thing. He gets gimmicked in the run game. And keep looking forward for that, because even though it's not a clear backfield situation, like I said, they literally got like 2 guys. They got Ingram and DeMarcado filling in for James Conner, who should be out again this week. I think he is going to be out again this week. Rondell Moore will be gimmicked into that. Gimmicked into that run game. So, as we keep going down here, I mean, you got Valdez-Scantling, Jackson Nimba, you got Rashad Bateman, Khalif Raymond. I mean, these are definitely the dart throws. I mean, this is the kind of week you might need to look down this far. I mean, I don't know, guys. I mean, Dewami Brown he's had an appearance. I think he scored a touchdown a couple weeks ago. I think it was in the Chicago game. Khalil Shakir. You never know. It's one of those. Josh Allen could break the play, keep it alive, and then find him in the back of the end zone. You just never know. But I think that's as far as we need to go. But yeah, this week, I think the main 3, when it comes to ownership here, it is Kupp, it is Diggs, it is Devontae Adams, and I think because of the matchup, without a doubt, Jacoby Myers is also going to garner some ownership, but without a doubt, because of his playing deep ability, it is Tyler Lockett. And I definitely apologize. I did not mention him earlier. 6,800, same as Lockett, Amari Cooper. But I will say this. When we look at the game logs, he is still getting targets no matter who the quarterback is. He is the man. That's why he should still feel like a safe 6,800. Right under 7,000, he is still getting the targets and the looks no matter who the quarterback is. So that's why you should not worry about Amari Cooper. Yes, the performance-wise there, but part of fantasy is opportunity. And ever since the Deshaun Watson injury, still rocking 8, 6, and 8 targets in the last 3 games. We'll go back to quarterback real fast, because when I feel at quarterback top plays this week, it is Mahomes, Herbert, and then yes, you're gonna have to take Jordan Love, 7,800. Deshaun Watson if he plays, Sam Howell if he plays. If Daniel Jones plays, I will take Daniel Jones, and then it's definitely Geno Smith and Joshua at 6,600. So 66 and 68, you're barely paying. You're not even at 14,000. I think it's like 13,700 or 13,800. Stacking Joshua Dobbs and Marquise Brown, and then you can do whatever the hell you want with the rest of your lineup. Let's finish off this quick rundown with tight ends. Like I said, we started quarterback, so I might as well just keep up with the stack. It has been a very ugly and unpredictable year, but when it comes to tight ends and you have at least all the main guys there, it's at least it just looks a little bit better. But once again, as you can see the discrepancy in tight end, you go to Travis Kelce, 8,500. It drops damn near $2,000 all the way to Mark Andrews. And statistically, as you can see, Mark Andrews has the better matchup because Detroit gives up the most to the tight end because the cornerbacks do such a good job against the wide receivers. Plus, that front seven with Hutchinson and those guys get to the quarterback really well. So, if they pressure Lamar doesn't tuck it, he's going to look for his safety blanket. And I think Mark Andrews is a great leverage prey. But I still think Travis Kelce is still going to garner more ownership. But I will be looking at Andrews for 6,900. 69 is still a lot for such an unpredictable and ugly position this season. But Mark Andrews is Mark Andrews. Sam Laporta, calf strain doesn't seem to be an issue. He's still a viable option, even if he's going against the best team against tight ends. Darren Waller's going to be an interesting look at 6,000 against Washington. Cole Kmet. I love Cole Kmet against Las Vegas, but once again, who knows what it's going to be like with whatever quarterback. But then again, like I said, I would still, if you made me pick a receiver / tight, it would definitely be Cole Kmet over Mooney, over Moore next week. It's just that it just definitely looks ugly, and he does have a nice price. Kyle Pitts finally shown up this season. I do like him against Tampa Bay. Like I said, I feel Tampa Bay is going to do their best to lock down Bijan. And speaking of Bijan, I can't wait to see what Prize Pick sets him at, because that will definitely be an under that I'll be taking as well. And then here on out, you just got to go with, other dart throws. You got Jonnu Smith. Logan Thomas let down a lot of people last week, but Logan Thomas does have a habit of showing up at least a little bit against the Giants over the past 2-3 seasons. So you can't forget about him. Gerald Everett, Zach Ertz. You never know. You might find a Luke Musgrave getting targets against a bad Denver defense. I mean, Jordan Love doesn't hide from him. As you can see here, 4-3-8. Against Detroit, only 1 target, but last week against Las Vegas, 7 targets, 6 receptions, 34 yards. I'll take the 6.4 for 5,000 against Denver. The probability for the touchdown is a lot higher, so you can't forget about that low pay. That pay down tight end. Tyler Higbee is still viable, but right now things are coming to form where it's Matthew Stafford, Puka and Cooper Kupp. Van Jefferson being traded, you really thought that, okay, Tyler Higbee slides in. But if you look at the last 2 weeks since Cooper Kupp has come back, yeah, it's not really going to compared to what the hell it was early in the season. He's up and down, but he's still getting more work. He was still getting more work then than he is now. So the trending is not too good. Not in Tyler Higbee case, because now after it goes to those two guys and it goes to the running game, every now and then there's a pass thrown to Tutu Atwell. Donald Parham is a viable option this week. He's cleared to play. Once again, the way the Chargers run their offense, he gets in the game and subs in for Everett the minute they get into the 20 or the 15. So look for him for goal line looks against KC. Like I said, he has that big, tall basketball body. So he's a nice, high, and big target as they get closer inside the 20, the 15, especially the 10 and the 5. Look for Donald Parham to get at least a couple of goal line looks. Other than that, I already mentioned it. I like Njoku for 4,900. I definitely like that. Njoku's still part of that offense. No matter who's the quarterback, it's consistent. 3, 4, 4, 7, 4. Just hasn't had a touchdown yet. Touchdown is coming. It could happen this week. So there are nice pay down options down here. In the New England game where they could force Allen out the pocket, Dawson Knox could break one. He definitely likes to break one in and out when they're down inside the 5. He can find him if he doesn't find Diggs. That's another nice goal line and inside the 5 option. And I think after that, the furthest I will probably go is K. Dotton. I think that's it at 4,700. I think that's the most I will go. Has his ups and downs with the targets, but he does get the looks. And he's the main tight end for Tampa Bay at the moment. So I guess I'll have to go with him. And I think that's the lowest I will go. I will not go any lower. No Daniel Bellinger, no Troutman. I'm way off that train from a long time ago. Even if Firemouth is out, no kind of Haywork for me. Indianapolis still uses 3 wide receivers, so I wouldn't even look at Mo Alley Cox or anybody else. Will Disley, deep dart throw. There's literally nobody here. Even if Greg Dulcich was cleared or whatever, I still wouldn't. I just can't trust Denver right now. You just can't. You really just can't. But hope everybody liked the video. That was part 1 of the Week 7 preview. Once again, check out my channel. The early look prize picks vid is up and ready. Getting late over here, so 2 vids down. A quick video tomorrow going over running backs and the defenses for Week 7. I hope you like the content in the video. Once again, early look prize picks is up. This is the Week 7 part 1. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers for FanDuel. Good luck this week. This slate is not looking pretty, but like I said, there are other ways to get away from and other teams to at least focus on besides Kansas City and the Los Angeles Chargers. And like I said, from what it looked like last year, it's going to be another fun one to play. You just got to, besides getting the main guys right, you're going to have to get those low options right. But other than that, that's the end of this nice, decently timed video. I'm going to be able to wrap this up under 27 minutes. So, once again, good luck with the research this week. And this is Grade A Fantasy, and I'm signing off. Have a good night, be safe, and most importantly, have a good Tuesday.